Welcome back to Keeping Up with Jones Hour. Today we have a special guest. I traded out Dustin for a slightly better version of Dustin and a few more years of experience and a few more deals done and probably a little bit more success and probably more well-known. Other than that, very similar in many regards. So,
Probably nicer.
Mark Halperin, who is the COO of Boyle Investment Company and has been there for going on his 6th decade.
Well, I guess that's right. It's 53rd year, so I guess I'm in my sixth
In your
decade.
sixth decade. Was kind enough to join us today. So we had a script. I don't like scripts. We're not going to go by a script. Mark really doesn't work well on scripts either. So this is probably the best way to do it. But Mark was the main reason I'm in commercial real estate today, stupid enough to give me a break, even stupider to hire me. But here we are, and has been a huge mentor to me, and whether or not he wants to admit it is a huge part of my life. And so having him here with me is pretty special today. But we thought, as we were talking, we like to bring cool things to y'all. There are a few people in our market who have done as much for our market as Mark. And so we took a swing at a home run and we got him here. So, Mark, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
I've never said those nice things in front of you, so that was
You really
weird.
haven't. I'm pretty impressed. Didn't know you realized all that.
Well, I had a script. So,
Fair enough.
yeah, but Mark, just to introduce yourself a little bit further, born in Chicago, but got to Memphis quickly thereafter.
Born in Chicago 76 years ago. And my family moved to Memphis for work for my dad. Pretty deep roots in Chicago on one side of the family. My dad was born in Chicago, and my mother was born in Poland. And they married right before the Second World War. Right, maybe it had already started, actually. Yeah. And we ended up here. So it was a big move from a northern suburb of Chicago to Memphis, Tennessee. The connection was my uncle was stationed at Naval Air Station Millington during the Second World War, and he loved Memphis.
Cool.
So he stayed here, and we would come visit, and my dad met some folks that lured him to Memphis. So we ended up here in 1959, and I was 10.
Never left.
Never left. So it's kind of been history.
Yeah, I guess for a short stint in Knoxville, which I guess you graduated.
I did graduate.
Yeah,
Good. I did. I loved Knoxville, but I ended up back here, and it's worked out pretty well.
And so what was your intro? I'm asking this like I don't know the intro, but they don't know the intro. So what was your intro into commercial real estate?
I'd like to say it was well thought out and well planned, but it really wasn't. Much of my life is through my time at MUS.
Sure.
And my best friend, starting in the 7th grade, is still my best friend. We were at MUS together. We were at Tennessee together. We were at in the Navy together. We lived together after the Navy. He and his wife and I lived together for the first year of their marriage. She said, either he's going or we're going. And it was a house that actually Jack owned and or his family owned, but they left. I stayed. Jack's father was a home builder and a residential real estate guy and developer. Did a lot of residential development, and kind of hanging around with him and watching his dad sort of interested me. We both had our real estate license before we graduated from Tennessee. It was a little different time. There were less hurdles.
Yeah.
And when I graduated, we ended up talking to a guy named Henry Morgan, who was at that time a senior vice president, I think, at Boyle. He was a key player at Boyle. He helped us with basically it wasn't really a term paper, but it was called a project.
Yeah.
It had to do with appraisal and valuation of, in this case, commercial properties. And Henry helped Jack and I with this project that we had up in Knoxville. And after that introduction, ended up talking to Henry and ended up at Boyle. I had no idea what I was going to do. when I started, I worked in the multifamily area. At that time, Boyle was a developer of multifamily apartments, and we at that time managed our own multifamily. We had a couple thousand units, and that's what I started doing. Through a series of bizarre events, I ended up in the office building business. In July of 1973, we moved from 42 South 2nd to 5900 Poplar with our CFO, who was a great guy named Jack Tackett, and our kind of chief administrative officer, a guy named Bob Lofton, who were two great mentors to me, who both sadly are gone. We moved, and they went and had lunch and beers, and I helped unload the trucks. And that was the beginning of my office building career.
It was unloading. And you've done that for a few tenants.
I have done that for more than one. And it's an interesting part of how I think Boyle Investment Company looks at relationships with our customers. I like to think about customers sort of as customers for life.
Yeah.
Some of them don't agree with me, but it's okay.
Yeah. Well, even if they move out, they're prospects.
Correct.
So.
And as you've heard me say on numerous occasions, there's really only two kinds of folks in the world. They're either customers or prospects, and it really doesn't make much sense to make either one of them mad.
Yeah.
So we try not to.
Yeah. Even if they don't pay rent sometimes.
Sometimes it's true.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're pretty lucky in that regard. But
yeah. So now you said that was 1973, and since then you have developed and leased up a few office buildings. I guess Ridgeway Center was the first. What are some other fun projects you've worked on, or what are some fun projects within the development that you've worked on?
Well, we've done a lot of stuff, but I'm not sure how many buildings we built in Ridgeway Center. There's probably close to 15.
Yeah. Nobody's going to fact check you, so it doesn't
That's
matter.
good.
Yeah.
I've been part of a great team.
Yeah.
A group of guys who and gals who it's been fun.
Yeah.
Most of us don't even look at it as a job or as work. And Rusty Bloodworth, who has been on the point of our development team really before I started. Mm-hmm. He's in his 57th or 8th year at Boyle. So between us, we have over 110 years at Boyle, which...
Yeah. You normally see that on a website, and they're talking about the whole team.
Yeah, I know. There's just two of us.
Yeah.
But we've always had a great collaboration. And so Rusty envisioned Humphrey Center, mm-hmm. which starts at really I-240 behind Christian Brothers High School and goes all the way down Humphreys Boulevard, really to the east of Kirby Parkway.
Sure.
So he acquired a total of roughly 300 acres mm-hmm. that became 80 Humphreys, and where the Baptist Women's Hospital is, mm-hmm. 50 Humphreys, where the Hampton Inn is up there at Walnut Grove and Humphreys. Several residential developments down Humphreys. There's a apartment development, multifamily development there. Sure. The really part of the great asset of I still think about it kind of as Shelby Farms, but along Humphreys Boulevard where the borrow ditches where land was taken to build up Humphreys Boulevard.
Sure. Those
lakes there now, and the trails and all that originally was Rusty's vision. And
pretty wild.
Out of Schilling Farms, which was a 450-acre development that really a joint venture with Harry Smith's family. Mm-hmm. Rusty's really been working on the development concept at Schilling for over 25 years. And, we built Helena, mm-hmm. It's not Helena Chemical anymore, Helena Agribusiness. Mm-hmm. We built their corporate headquarters out there. Now there's several other corporate headquarters that have joined them. Yeah. Multifamily, some really great single-family residential. Water tower which is a multifamily development, water tower retail, which Jones Hour is mostly leased, but we have 2 new phases under construction that y'all are handling the leasing on. So, I mean, it's a true multi-use development. We built the IBM building in Jackson, Mississippi, which was probably not the best deal we ever did, but we did it. We only did 1 building in Jackson.
That's how good it was.
It was great. And we did several office buildings in Maitland, Florida.
That's right. I forgot about that.
It's called the development was called Maitland Center, which had several similarities to Ridgeway Center in Memphis.
Okay.
So I mean that's some of it.
Yeah, that takes us through 1998. So.
Well,
and Schilling. Yeah. It's been a lot. And Schilling Farms is kind of crazy to see how it's come together. It's funny because there's obviously I was not there at the beginning nor the middle, but
weren't even born.
No, no, close. But there's I think it was like the end of the 88 maybe. No, it was 98 so I was born. I was 7. Okay. I was very instrumental in that. But there's a bench there that says established 1998, and it's so funny when people would call. And you get people who want to be in those developments really badly, and so they get pushy. And we're Boyle super particular, and we got it. It's been vacant for 6 months. You got to get somebody in there. I'm like, listen, they've been working on this since for the past 25 years. Like another 6 months is not going to kill it. And they're like, oh, wow, whatever.
It's true.
Yeah. Fortunately, Boyle's in a position and have done things very methodically over the past almost 100 years to allow for that. But it brings a different level of development and investments when you can do things right and you don't have to rush. It's just a different mindset, different mentality, and the fact that Boyle's probably never going to sell most of those assets. It provides, you can just tell. You can tell in how things are developed. You can tell in the CapEx that's invested and reinvested and reinvested. And Regalia is an incredible example of that was developed in 1991. The year I was born, and the continued investment in almost $500,000 in just landscaping a few years ago, just because we thought it would be of value to the neighbors. It was 100% leased at the time, by the way, so there was no real intrinsic value there. It was just this is what we need to do to make the entrance to Ridgeway Center that much better. So kind of cool. So what's next?
Gosh, for me.
No, nobody really cares about that.
Probably
Boyle.
Scottsdale. But what you were mentioning, I think, is what really sets us apart.
Yeah.
Certainly in the Memphis market. Our team, all of our players, have an owner's mentality, which you learned when you were with us. We're not in it for the fees. Mm-hmm. We're about creating long-term value. We're about creating long-term relationships with our customers.
Yeah.
And it's just a little bit different approach. And there's nothing wrong with the other approach.
Totally.
But we have, I've got two tenants in office buildings that we did transactions with, and these are third-generation customers. And we take a lot of pride in that.
Yeah.
And we take care of people. I've had more than once, goes back to the ideas about prospects and customers. I've had people say, Mark, we decided to do such and such, or we're going to move, or whatever, and I know you're going to be mad at us. Well, no, we're really not mad. We appreciate you having been with us, and we appreciate the fact that you need to make a change, but
there's
only 2 kinds of folks, prospects and customers, and the day you move out, you go from being a customer to a prospect.
For sure.
So, and it works.
Mm-hmm.
It works. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
All you do is be honest, do what you say you're going to do, don't promise something you can't do, and show up.
Fair.
The showing up's the easiest part. A lot of folks don't want to do it.
Well, it cuts into golf and tennis.
No comment on that.
Yeah, fair.
I'm not a scratch golfer, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I count my score by how many balls I lost.
That's
So
a good way to do it.
yeah, I get that. You've seen a lot. I think it was you that told me this, that at one point Memphis was voted or something like the cleanest city or the quietest city. It was one of, maybe both.
Both. When I was a kid.
To now. So we've had our ebbs and flows, now hopefully ebbs. What do you, I don't know that I mean this professionally, I just, as someone who's dedicated their entire life to the city and could have lived, also, asterisk, I remember one time I asked you why you didn't live in Germantown or something, and you said, because Memphis needs me.
I don't know if I said that.
Not that regard. I think
I might have meant
it wasn't
that.
you specifically. I think it was more of all of us to be in the city. And so I've taken that to heart and live in the loop and will always. Brittany has also taken that to heart and will always. So what is your hope for our city that I believe, and you know because you've lived it, has a ton of potential?
It's disheartening that we are a little bit behind where we could be today.
Fair.
If you think about what has happened in the last really few years with Blue Oval, east of Memphis, and even though they've slowed their schedule down, they've invested billions of dollars.
Yeah,
that is a enterprise that will produce a lot of jobs and create a lot of activity. You look at what's gone on in Marshall County for the last 10 or 15 years.
Yeah.
Really pretty amazing.
Totally.
DeSoto County, the fastest growing county in the state of Mississippi.
Yeah, which is not because of Mississippi.
No,
by
it's
the way.
not. No comments about Mississippi.
Yeah.
You just announced the Google data center in West Memphis, which from where we're sitting is probably 20 miles at the most.
Yeah.
At the most.
Yeah.
World-class airport. Second largest cargo airport in the world. Technologically advanced airport. Great weather. Best geographic location in the United States. We've got so much going for us.
For sure.
And I think that part of the problem is I think that the business community got disengaged from the political leadership in the community. Some of the priorities changed. Maybe the quality of some of the people serving has changed. And I think that we've got to have more involvement both in the African American business community and in the white community come together and work together to help our political leadership in the community.
Yeah.
That's something that has been missing. And it's something that when I was coming up, business leadership was much more involved in the success of the city.
Makes sense.
We've got a lot of great, talented people in the community. We've got, as I've said, I think, great resources. It's a great place to live.
It is.
There's no, literally, compared to most cities, there's no traffic. We have a colleague we have a great operation up in Nashville that we've been in the Nashville market for 25 years. And we've done great up there, and we're very happy that we're in Nashville. I much prefer to be here.
For sure.
And it's just so much easier, more pleasant place to live. We had a colleague whose husband got transferred to Nashville.
Yeah.
And they moved up there, and they're very happy, and her commute is 1 hour and 15 minutes each way.
Each way.
So she commutes 2.5 hours a day. How long's your commute?
With traffic, 8 minutes.
8 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, that tells a lot.
For sure.
It's such a big part of the quality of life. The cost of living in Memphis is
incredible.
Attractive to almost any other community that you look at.
Right.
all we lack is some growth.
Right.
And personally, at this stage of the game, it doesn't matter what I think is important, but I'm not anxious for Memphis to become Nashville or to become Atlanta. Memphis is a great place to live, and we need good jobs for all of our citizens. And the more good jobs we have, the more amenities that are attracted to the community, and it just builds on itself.
Yeah.
And I think we've got all of the assets to get there.
I couldn't agree more. It always is. I don't know if it's aggravating or what it is when somebody's like, when they compare us to Nashville or any city. I'm like, I live in Memphis because I want to be in Memphis. I could live in any city in the country easily. So could you, easily. But I want Memphis to be the best version of Memphis.
I agree.
And so
good way to say it.
Comparing it to any other city's kind of ridiculous, but our quality of life is incredible. I can be at my office in 8 minutes. I can be at the FedEx Forum in 15 minutes. I can be in the furthest point in Collierville in 20 minutes. And we don't sacrifice any sort of amenities. We have the professional teams. We have a top 25 undefeated college football team. We have, we have some of the best restaurants, I think, in the Southeast. It's fun to get people into our city and just drive them around. And they're like, this is incredible. We had a transaction downtown. I guess it closed 2 weeks ago, and the buyer came in he lives in Connecticut, just outside, where am I trying to say? Just outside of New York, Greenwich. So about as glamorous a place as you can be. I picked him up from the airport.
Expensive place, too.
Yeah, for sure. Picked him up from the airport, toured Midtown, toured East Memphis, toured downtown, and sat down at the meeting with the seller, and he was like, this is the coolest city I've ever been to. And he had no reason to say that. He was the buyer. He wasn't selling anything. He wasn't selling himself. And so, but that's indicative of the reaction people get when they see how much potential our city has.
When we have people move here, I was in a conversation with an international paper executive within the last couple of weeks who just moved here 4 months ago from Houston.
Oh, the CFO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they absolutely love it.
Yeah. You hear the reactions, good or bad or whatever, but I've never had someone who comes here and gives themselves to the city and doesn't receive it back tenfold.
I agree.
So, anyway, sounds like we're both hopeful. Sounds like there's, I think a lot of the right steps are being taken. We've got a long way to go. I don't think anyone's ignorant to that or, putting their head in the sand.
Right.
So I think that's probably what's going to get us there. Anyway, any last parting words?
I think it says a lot about you and your company that we outsource some stuff to you. We've been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
And I do recognize I've been one of your mentors. And most of the time I'm pretty damn proud of you. So
appreciate it.
You guys are doing it right.
Thanks.
And you got a great career ahead of you.
Means a lot. You've all witnessed the first nice things that he and I have ever said to each other.
Just about.
So this is a special moment for all of us. We appreciate y'all being with us as always. Until next time.